Okay, let wait for 5 minutes. After then we have start. Okay, so let's start. Begin here. We are last class yesterday. We are discussing about environmental health related to water. So, what is the main relation between environment and health? We already discussed. So, let's begin. Today we will discuss about how the air, which is related to environment and health. So, let me share my screen. Okay, where is it visible to all of you? My screen. Hello. Is it visible? Anyone can answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yesterday we already discussed environment and health related to water. So there are different aspects of environment and water. A basic requirement for the environment, that is clean air, sufficient water, food, all this settlement. So then scope of the environment health, water supply, wastewater treatment, all these things, because all everything which is related to environment is closely associated with water. Mostly four things are there, four factors, for example biological, physical, and sociological and cultural factors are there. so we should not discuss it again. Let's move forward. Water purification, waterborne diseases, all the things. Then organic constituents or microbial organism, food, bacterial indicator, virological experts, all these things we are already discussed in last class. And so the WHO and Central Pollution Control Board also prescribe certain limit for this particular or inorganic and organic constituents for that the environment. We can release it and we cannot hamper to the human health. But beyond this limit, all humans and organisms are affected. Okay. So discuss with today our class start with air pollutions and how air is related to health. So daily requirement of air is about 10 to 20 cubic meter per day. That means for every person, yesterday we have discussed the water, because the water is required for two reasons. One is for drinking purpose and another is for household purpose, agricultural purpose. So directly, indirectly, water is needed by the humans. So similarly, without air and without water cannot be survive. So as important water is, then air is also equally important. So not only the air, but also we have to take clean air, which means the air we are taking every day inhaling, that contains so many types of pollutants, and pure air cannot be found in atmosphere, because the pollutants which are mixing in the air, and that can create environmental problem as well as health problem in our body. So what is the composition of air? In totally we are discussing what is air. So air is a term which describe so many gases, mixture of gases. Let's say what are the pure mixture of gases? Nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and argon, helium, krypton, xenon, all the things. So majority of our environment or our atmosphere contains nitrogen gas, that is 78.1% by volume. Then after nitrogen, oxygen is 20, nearly 21% by volume. Then carbon dioxide is 0.03%. Now it is increased up to 0.05% because due to the human activities. And so rare gases like argon, neon, krypton, helium, these are very rarely present in our earth atmosphere. So the air which this composition of air which is originally present in nature, it does not contains any kinds of pollutants, but due to the human activity, the anthropogenic activity, the compositions, the air is changes, this composition is changes, and the foreign substance or the unwanted substance which is present in air is called as pollutant. So this pollutant gas when mixes with air, that is called air pollutions. So presence of harmful gases, mixture of harmful gases and other particles, but the air we are only, not only gases, so many dust particles are also present here. So all of these can cause seriously human or health injury in any organisms or particularly humans. So this mixture of harmful gases and these gases and other particles, subatomic particles like dust present in atmosphere, that creates so many interference to the human health and safety, discomfort and affect other environmental media, resulting chemical entering into food and drinking, etc. Because whenever you see there is a dusty or smoky environment, you cannot breathe freely. So you have feeling some suffocation like this. And in dusty environment, uh, some peoples are suffering asthma diseases, which means very much health is seriously affected by these air pollutions. So in order to be healthy environment, create a healthy environment and take your environment, take your care of your health, that is you need a healthy air in order to inhale, because the air is air, or we may call it oxygen, because in air oxygen, we are requiring oxygen for our metabolism in our body. So when we inhale air, in air contains oxygen, nitrogen, but the oxygen which is required, which is transport in our body blood by the exchange in the lungs, and that can be help for the metabolism of our glucose, sucrose, etc. molecules to generate energy. So this air when inhaled through our systems or in our lungs, when there are pollutants particles are there, they create various health problems. So What are the source of air pollution? That means what are the different kinds of pollutant which are unnecessary, create human health, deteriorated human health, that are automobiles, that is the exhaust of automobiles or transport facility, exhaust of industry, big chimneys are there in industrial regions, they continuously evolve huge amount of pollution or pollutant gases in the atmosphere, like CO2, carbon dioxide, COPB, cobalt, lead, and this nitrogen dioxide, black smoke. Because whenever you see the automobiles, the exhaust, it create huge smoke released to the atmosphere. And obviously, atmosphere is a very big entity, so it can dilute it. But when you take this air pollutant along with the oxygen in your body, it create various health issues. In industry also there are sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, fly ash. Fly ash is not a gas; it is a dust. When it also emits along with this chimney, the fly ash are, so this is also create very health problem. Smoke, hydrogen chloride gases, hydrogen sulfide, ozone, etc. These are the various gaseous pollutant, air pollutant released by the human activity, and which is severely affected the human health. Then there are two kinds of sources: point sources, non-point sources. Point sources means like a industry, there is chimney and the source is fixed, that continuously emit the gases. But the non-point sources are the automobiles and these vehicles. They are not fixed at a particular point, and they are roaming here and there around, and it releases everywhere the gases. So like another thing, domestic sources. So domestic sources means in our household also we are creating various kinds of smokes and various kinds of gas pollutant, like smoke, dust, SO2, NO2, all the things. And miscellaneous, that means burning residue, insulator, pesticides, spraying, natural spores, fungi. Obviously, there are natural air pollutions as well as artificial air pollutions. But the natural air pollutions, that is done by this blowing of air, the dust are blown along with the air, the pollen grains are sprayed here and there. That is very small amount of air pollutions compared to the human activities. So humans are generating more air pollution releases to the air, into the air, so that can deteriorate the human health. So different kinds of air pollutants and how it can affect the health. Please remember this thing, like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, all the things are very much important, because it can deteriorates health in different kinds of mechanisms when we are inhaling it. Carbon monoxide is a very dangerous gases. See, carbon monoxide is CO, but carbon dioxide is CO2. Carbon dioxide not is a pollutant gases because it is absorbed. It can be absorbed by these green plants and converted to oxygen. But carbon monoxide is a very serious gases. But carbon dioxide, when we are releasing in atmosphere due to industrial activity, huge amount, and we are cutting down the tree as a for the various sources, or for economy, or for deforestation, the adequate amount of CO2 cannot be neutralized to convert to oxygen. So carbon dioxide is also responsible for global warming and climate changes. Similarly, carbon monoxide is responsible for blood oxyhemoglobin formations. That means when carbon you inhale carbon monoxide along with oxygen in your lungs, you the blood which is attached to the carbon monoxides, and your blood get clot, and you can die immediately by without the absence of oxygen. So when we compare the carbon monoxides and oxygen, carbon monoxides easily attached with the blood. So that is called carboxyhemoglobin, the complex molecule that form along with when react the carbon monoxide to the blood, that is carboxyhemoglobin. Then sulfur dioxide, it causes acid rain because sulfur dioxide mixed with the water vapor or water droplet in our atmosphere, which causes acid rain. It forms sulfuric acid H2SO4 and drop down into the surfaces. Then lead poisoning decrease IQ level of young children. Lead is a metal, but obviously when it is present in atmosphere, because we are different burning of various industrial activities, and this fossil fuel burning and mining activity. So lead can be also released to our atmosphere, and which is severely damaging the mostly particularly the young, old and young people. particularly the small children and the old age people. So in young children, the IQ level and the peoples who are having lead poisoning, they are becoming a dumb. Like you can, the peoples are the brain cannot develop normally. So that is the main things that we call lead poisoning. Then carbon dioxide is obviously responsible for global warming and climate change. Then hydrocarbon are the gases which are mostly like methane, butane, propane, all these things are released to atmosphere. It can seriously damage your eyes. Then cadmium is also one type of air pollutants. It can cause cancers in health. SO2, the sulfur dioxide, and sulfuric acid, sorry, the hydrogen sulfide gases. These smells unpleasant and conjugational irritations, mental and neurological damage. These are the various health effect causes due to the different air pollutant gases. And ozone can act as a lifesaver layer in stratosphere and upper surface of the earth. But same ozone which is present in lower atmosphere, and instead of ozone is what? Ozone is O3 because oxygen molecule is O2. When O2 become O3, it causes a serious health effect in our human health. See, O2, that is oxygen, is lifesaver. We are without oxygen we die. So, but O3, when we are inhale O3, also that is dangerous chemical for us. So, ozone, which is present in lower atmosphere, which is a various air, we call it air pollutants, and which causes health effect. Then polynuclear aromatic hydrocarbon, that is PES, so like benzene, toluene, naphthalene. So the aromatic compounds which are produced mostly from the natural gases and the petroleum products, and they also releases to atmosphere and causes mostly cancers like lung cancers. Then particulate matters, that are very small tiny particles and dust particles which is released to atmosphere, and it is moving in the atmosphere, and it cannot be settled down because whenever air is moves, the dust particles are moving here and there. So it causes respiratory problem. When you inhale this dust particle along with air, they are going to stick the fluid inside your lungs, and the lungs can get damaged. So you have suffocate. That problem is called asthma normally. So asthma is the mostly responsible due to these particulate matters. So these are various air pollutant, and what are the health effects. So there are two types of effect of air pollutions, that is acute effect and chronic effect. Acute effect matlab, what is it? It is the acute pneumonia or acute bronchitis. Acute means immediate problem. Acute means immediate health effect, that is called acute. Chronic means you do not feel the effect, but it can be effect in a long time. Whenever you exposed to air pollutions and you are feeling that you are not going to help your effect, but after 1 or 2 year and long term your health can deteriorate. That is called chronic effect. So acute means short term effect, chronic means long term effect. So short term effect, you just feel suffocations, immediate headache, like all the things, and immediate death by suffocations. You are not getting any oxygens because of when carbon monoxide or sulfur dioxide, all these gases are you inhale, then immediate death also happen due to these suffocations. But chronic effect, when you inhale this pollutant long time, it can causes cancers, and slowly it dies, or it can be causes various serious health effects that cannot be cured. That is lung cancer, emphysema, or respiratory allergy, etc. These are the two types of effect due to the air pollution. Then again, social and economic aspects. Because of this health effect, your all money you have to force to give the doctor or hospitals. Whatever your money you are earning, that are forced to give, because in order to save your life. So that is the economic aspect. Your money will be go void. Then social effect, if you are having some damage or mainly you are suffering from cancer, or suffering from mental disorder or neurochemical disorder, then socially also the people who are in your sides, peoples, or in your surroundings, the people are hate you. So this type of effect also you have to see. So destruction of animals and plants lives occurs, corrosion of metals, damaging of buildings, social cost increasing of cleaning maintenance, aesthetic nuisance, reduction of visibility, town, damage of soil, damage of clothing, All the things are related to social and economic aspect. For example, if you are agriculture field is near to the industry, so the hell the industry, there are some the soil particulate matters, they can be accumulated and they are falling down in your agricultural land, or when you dry your clothes outside and the dust particles are stick to your clothes, so you can, that can be economically it is hampered. And due to the acid rain, and due to the various corrosion effect, due to the pollutant gases, pollutants, that can cause also economic impact. For example, if you are using AC, AC, that is air conditions near any industry, so air conditions get choked and you have the life of the air conditioner also get damaged, and that can be require higher maintenance. Or similarly, huge amount of damages in terms of life as well as property it can causes. So the air pollution is very much dangerous in order to deteriorate the health of the environment as well as health of the people. So next is then prevention and control of air pollution. In order to safely you have save your health from the air pollution, again, see, similarly yesterday we have studied what are the WHO recommendations for water. Now similarly WHO also recommends some of the procedures, some of the permits limits, and some points in order to save your life from these pollutions. So what are the points? Contaminants, that is prevention of escape of toxic substances in atmosphere by enclosure, ventilations and air cleaning. That means live in a place where proper air is blowing or proper air is passing. You have to live in such a place. So that's why in our classroom, see, so many numbers of windows and doors are there, then all should be open. That means proper ventilations should be required in order to breathe safely and in order to prevent this health effect. So this is very much required, important, proper ventilation and cleaning. Then replacement of coal, firewood, petrol, new technology like electricity, natural gases, all the things. Because whenever we are using transportation facilities, we are using or burning fossil fuel, and the fossil fuel, that means petrol, diesel, while it burns, releases huge amount of gaseous pollutants, and that can be cause a serious problem. Instead of fossil fuel burning, we are using electric vehicle, e-vehicle. It can significantly lowers the emissions. Or you call as green vehicles. See in your locality, Ola motorcycles or the e-bike or some e-cars are available now, electric cars, and the number plates of the cars are be shown in the green colors. Whenever you see the green color number plate, that means it is electric car or electric bike. That means, what is the meaning of that? That means it causes zero emissions, because electricity runs with the battery, and though no emissions takes place, that's why it is written in green color. So use like that. Instead of using petrol diesel bikes, you should use e-vehicles or electric bike. That is the replacement techniques in order to reduce the emissions. Then dilutions, self-healing capacity of environment, that is called dilutions, or establishment of green belt. See, the whenever there is a industry hub, near to the industry hub, there is a provision to make a artificial forest, or at least plant huge amount of trees in near the industry. So similarly, when you find, whenever you go through the roads, both sides of the roads, huge numbers of large numbers of trees are there normally. Some roads are there, and the tree plantation is also a part of this uh, that is green belt. That means you have to prepare a green belt, that means plantation of tree, when there is a pollution, air pollution is more, because in road there are huge numbers of bikes and these vehicles are running, so huge number of pollutions are there. In order to absorb that pollution, the plants are only the things that can be absorbed the air pollutions. So plants should be planted a roadside of this tree or near the industry, so it can dilute the air pollutions for the humans. Then legislation, formulation, implementation of monitoring environmental act regulations. That means the court and the law should be made to regulate the emissions. In road somewhere you have to see that some bikes and some taxis are releases huge amount of large volume of the black gases, and that should not be there. And the environment pollution control act, that you should be regularly check your PUC or pollutions emissions. And the Central Pollution Control Board and State Pollution Control Board also monitors various emissions in industry regularly. What is the emissions level of CO2, NO2, all the things in industry. So this should be comes under legislation. So proper legislation should be made in order to prevent the air pollution. Then international actions. WHO established an international network of laboratories for the monitoring and study of air pollution. So R&D is also very much required in order to improve our lifestyle, in order to improve the monitoring station and how to reduce the air pollutions. That can be very much necessary. So WHO established various stations and monitoring facilities. So this is all about air pollutions, how air pollutions we can be related to our health. So next is medical entomology. That means some, because we are studying about health, and some of the health is related to our medicines and medical field. So how this is related? Let's see here. So what are the things related to medical things? A study of arthropods and medical importance is known as medical entomology, and it is an important branch of preventive medicines. Some arthropods are beneficial and help in fertilization of flowers, crops, and some of this is very much necessary for our men's crops and products. Because whenever you are using these kinds of facility or some things, they are very much helpful to destroy the biological things or biological effect of humans on humans. Like see, arthropods are the disease transmitters. So what are these things? Mosquito, housefly, sandfly. These are the different arthropods, because the whenever we compare the mosquito flies and sandfly, then in the area there is no proper what no proper cleaning, and the water should be logged, and solid waste and the dustbins are throw, all the things are thrown here and there. So at that point mosquito house play, and these are the very much common at that point. So it causes different types of diseases and spread and deteriorate the health. So when we keep our environment clean, then it can be directly reflected the quality of life. If you are not clean in our environment and the solid waste is thrown here and there, so when we degrade the environment, then that can causes different types of the health effect in humans. So mosquito causes malaria, filaria, jaundice, then dengue fever, waste, Nile fever, yellow fever, etc. Mosquito actually does not causes directly the fever, because this it is a carrier. Mosquito is a carrier of these viruses that can be causes these fevers. Similarly, housefly also carries different viruses of bacteria, which are can sit in dusty area, and you can directly sit in your food, or indirectly we are ingesting these typhoid, paratyphoid fever, diarrhea, dysentery, the Diphtheria coli, MBiasis, helminthes, polymenthesis, trachoma, conjunctivitis, anthrax, etc. These are the various type of virus causing bacteria, but due to the house fly or this fly, it can spread from one place to another place, because this is a transmittance diseases. So in order to control the diseases, we have to control these arthropods, that is mosquito housefly, sandfly, the kala ajar, oriental source, and fly fever, all the things. These are the different flies or the arthropods which causes different categories of the health impact on our health. So we have to control these things. Then tease fly, sleeping sickness, louse, endemic typhoid, sleeping fever, and these are the things. Red flea, bubonic plague, that is the mostly due to the spread through the rat, epidemic virus. So these are the different diseases which transmitted by the rat. Then black fly, then reducing bug, Easter mice. These are the different types of carriers, and these are the what kinds of diseases that can be carried. So these are also, we have also think all the things, and we have to control these carriers. Heart trick, the trick factors, viral sentimalities, soft ticks, that is thymoid, then clapos. You should not remember all the things, but you should know the arthropods are the carriers, and it carries different type of diseases, and it can causes or deteriorates our health. Transmitters of arthropods borne diseases. How these arthropods are the carriers are. spread diseases and deteriorates our health. So first is the direct contact, that arthropods or the disease carriers are directly transferred from the man to man through direct contact, like scabies and pizuliasis. For example, here in coronaviruses, when we come across with another patients of who is having already infected with coronaviruses, then through air and through contact it can transfer to you and can be spreads. So direct contact is the main thing. Second is mechanical transmission, that means the carriers which is transmitted through different types of agents or different types of the things. For example, the different types of disease causing mechanically by arthropods, transmission of diarrhea, chloria, typhoid, chroma, etc. For example, so in that corona time, we are when the corona patient is touch something and we are again touch that place, then we can indirectly contact with the coronavirus. Similarly, indirectly transmission and direct transmission is the main cause of diseases in an for human. Then transmission of arthropods from diseases. Third number is biological transmission. First number is direct, second is mechanical, third is biological. Disease agent multiplies or undergoes some and developmental changes in manipulations of arthropods. For example, propagative, chloropropagative, and cyclo development. Propagative means disease agent undergo no cyclic changes but multiplies the body vectors for different types of plias. For example, one, it is the virus causing agent. It can be grow by multiplying itself. That is called propagative. Cyclopropagative means disease undergoes cyclic changes but doesn't having in the body of the vectors. Malaria parasites, for example, so malaria parasites transfer from mosquito and human body. It can live both in mosquito as well as human body. But in mosquito, malaria does not causes diseases to the mosquitoes, but their same parasites, whenever transferred to the human body, it can cause the diseases. Then cyclo development, then disease agent undergo both cyclic changes and does not multiply, but the are causes different type of things. So these are three different kinds of biological transmissions. So again, principles of arthropods control. So we have seen there are various kinds of arthropods. Arthropods, that means the disease causing agent or the carrier, disease area, there are called arthropods. So these are how to control in order to save our health, in order to live a good healthy life. We have to control these mosquito flies, all the things. So how to control these things? First is environmental control. Second is chemical control. Third is biological control. Fourth is genetic control. Fifth is never methods, and sixth is integrated approach. So let's see. Environmental controls, the elevations of breeding of fleas, filings of drainage operations, all the things. It simply things. Just clean the environment, keep neat and clean your environment. Obviously, the mosquito flies are controlled. So this is the environmental control. If you do not clean your area environment and just spread nuisance around you and spread thing here and there, so obviously the flies and these mosquitoes are generated. So for environmental control, you have to keep proper waste disposal of the waste and proper drainage facilities and plant water management. Do not throw the water here and there. Then provision for pipe water supply, proper disposal of waste, proper break housekeeping, etc. That means to keep neat and clean and proper disposal of waste. This is called environmental control. That controls the carrier itself. Second is chemical control. Use of insecticides, organochlorine, organophosphorus, carbamides, all are the different kinds of insecticides. Because when the flies and the mosquitoes are more, you cannot control in environmental or neat and clean procedure. And then what you have to do? You have to spray some chemicals in order to kill the mosquitoes or flies. So that is also chemical control. So there are three kinds of insecticides: organochlorine, organophosphorus, and carbamides. These are the different groups of chemicals that can control these flies and mosquito or the vectors. Third is biological control. Control arthropods by using other organisms to minimize environmental pollutions. Means you have utilized another organism to kill the others. For example, in a drain, in drain systems, there are larvae of mosquitoes are there in drain or in our in your when water is locked. So in order to kill the mosquito, just use this larvaceous fish, that is gambusa. Gambusa is a special kind of fish. If you release this fish on in the drainage, then it can easily kill the mosquitoes and eat the larvae of mosquitoes. So that can biologically control. That means one organisms can kill the other organisms. So that kind of control is called biological control. Then genetic control, male sterile techniques, cytoplasmic incompatibility, or chromosomal translocation are found to be effective. So in this technique, we have to use this kind of that you have to make when the mosquitoes or the flies are reproduced. Then also large number of new mosquitoes are generated. But when you just stop the reproduction of this carrier or mosquitoes or flies through these genetic controls, you have to make all the male mosquitoes are be sterile. The fertility capacity of female mosquitoes should be lost. Then new mosquitoes generation should not be there. So this type of control is called genetic control. And next is newer methods, that is insect growth regulators, chemosterilization, sex attraction, etc. And these are the different methods you have to control. That is insect growth regulations. You have to keep some kinds of things that can that should the mosquitoes or these arthropods should not grow from the larva stage to this use adult stage. So that type of things are there. There are called newer methods. Then integrated approach, combining two or more methods in the view to obtain maximum result, that is called integrated approach. So above the five methods, you have to use more than one method, that is called integrated approach, in order to kill the arthropods or kill the organisms which can carry the disease causing agent. So these are the different methods. So this is all about this arthropods and how to control this. Now another thing is, mostly this thing is called human excreta disposal. Whenever the stool we are eating something and we are releasing our excreta in morning time every day in the form of stool in and disposed through our sanitary facility, let's say in our drainage or in latrine or septic tank, that anywhere. So the sewage, so the sewage is the most important and the most powerful health causing effect to the populations, because it contains huge amount of all diseases causing agent and all the excreta and all these uh, uh, harmful substances which is not required by the body, that can be excreted through our intestines. So this human excreta is the dispose of this human excreta is the important factors in order to keep safe our body or human health. So normally this is controlled in different higher level society. Now all of this, you are living in town and we are utilizing a septic tank to dispose our excreta. But this is not everywhere it is applicable. In rural area or some slums area, they are very much unhygienic condition they are living, and they excrete here and there and they can contaminate the water, the food and the air also through different disease born causes disease. So various health effect is created due to this nuisance. So human history also important because of the causes of the environmental pollutions as well as the health infections. If you are just dispose this excreta in somewhere, and it can causes the pollutions as well as the health effect, health deteriorations. So safe disposal of this excreta is the most responsible for the everyone. So this is where this that's why we are studying here the how these things is related to environment as well as health. Hazards of the improper disposal excreta are soil pollution, water pollution, food contaminant, and propagation of flies. If the the excreta is not disposed properly and just openly disposed, then soil is get contaminated. Water, if water is flown through this, then water also get contaminated. If flies are sitting there and sitting in the food, then food is also contaminated. These are causes various hazards, health hazards, and seriously health effect in our human. So the disease caused mostly by this improper disposal of these things. So what are the main disease? Typhoid and parathyroid fever, dysentery, diarrhea, cholera, roundworm, hookworm, and viral hepatitis, other intestinal infection. Whenever there is a some viral fever, you just know that this is just due to the human excreta, and the mostly the common fever is called this dysentery. Whenever you just eat the outside food or the food from the local vendor, or you just eat pani puri from the here and there, and you eat that uh, in unhygienic conditions anything which is situated outside, so that can causes the common disease that is called dysentery. You That is the common disease by this contamination of the human excreta indirectly or directly. Methods of use, how this can be uh, are disposed. So what are the different methods? So on sewer area, this is service type of latrine, construction systems. Now it is utilized by everywhere, and a non-service, that is sanitary latrine, where we are utilizing in our enclosed septic tank is there. Borehole latrine, dog well pit latrine, water seal latrine, septic tank, and aqua privacy. These are the different secure type of disposals of these materials. Then secure area are water drainage carriage system of sewage treatment are there. Primary treatment, screening, removal of grit, plain sedimentations, secondary treatment, trickling filter, activated sludge process, and these are the different other methods are there. We should not go in details because whenever the water is contaminated through this crystal, then it should be when you have to want to clean these things, you have to go the series of different kinds of water treatment facilities. Service type, that is sanitary, non-sanitary, it is unhygienic and so unsocial. Particularly these type of activities are seen in a rural area, and small illiterate peoples are there, and there is no proper sanitation facilities, and no, they are having very much illiterate or poor. So it involves manual collections and removal of these things from disposals. It does not decontaminated because it is contaminated. Chance of contamination is more. Then non-service type thing, sanitary latrine is used by fulfill of the following criteria. Extra should not be contaminated with the groundwater. If you are mostly some towns, the there is no septic tanks. They directly dispose the excreta to the sewer facility, which can directly mix with the river or mix with the outside where the water is disposed. So it should not be there. So excreta should not be pollute the soil. Open excreta should be not there because it pollutes the soil. Then also it is not accessible to flies, rodent, animals. Excreta should not be nuisance create due to the unhygienic appearance. So this should be very much you have to keep in mind that it should not be litter any things. So these are the different kinds of things how we can dispose these things. So you should not go in details. Borehole latrine means you have to keep a huge ground where the groundwater should not be contaminated, and there is a steel tank, and there is a septic point of time that will be there. Dog well or pit type of latrine. Then dog well, or then it is also constant, and the life of the borewell latrine is not because of the deep well is 5 to 5 years and 4 to 5 family members. So depending on how you are going to how you have to use this latrine, you have to utilize. So according to that, you have to prepare these things. For example, if you are family members is 2 and 3 and 4 and minimum within 5, then you should not be build a huge type of tank. But but when the same septic tank or electric tank is used in a mall or in a huge commercial complex, then a huge amount of things is there, difference should be there. Water seal latrine, that is it should not be contaminated to the outer wall or outer soil. Night soil is sealed by a small difference contaminated and pipe called the trap. So the trap prevent the escape of the outdoor fuels. So it should be there. It should not go in details. Uh, then water seal, the what is the locations? Minimum 50 feet from the source of water. Equating the plates. For example, if you are building a tank or latrine in near to the groundwater you are utilizing through bore well. So it should not be leak from that to your drinking water or bore well, because in soil they can leaches or they can contaminate the groundwater. So it should not be there. So there are, you have to take some precautions. So this is all about how the human health and this environment are related, and how it can be changes. You have to safeguard all the things. So for this, it is already discussed. Human health is related to water, air, and then vector disease, vector causing points or carriers. Then the human excreta were not contaminated to this normal uh, water or soil or air. So this is all about the environmental health. Let's see what are the next four senior subject. Okay, introduction to human environmental health is complete. Then comparisons of the environment, current and past health in terms of parameters. So we have to discuss these things. Then relation between human and environment. Then effect of human activities environment, effect of current environment in human living organisms. So this is we should be go relation between human and this environment in next class, and what are the other health in terms of parameters, what are the different parameters. So for today we will stop here. This much you have to, if you have any doubt, then you can discuss. Anyone want to say anything? So how many numbers are present? One, two, three, four, five. Isita, have you present?
Yes, sir.
Yesterday you have absent.
Sir, I was absent yesterday.
Okay, okay. Let me take the attendance. Okay, so today for this you can stop here. Now you can leave. Next class we will start again.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good night.